All right, former acting Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Ken Cuccinelli joins us now. Perfect person to talk to about this. So thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
All right, so everybody knows, at least I think everybody knows, they're probably going to have to run Kamala Harris in 4 years for president. This story and her complete and total inaction make her just look like an absolute do-nothing politician. This is really bad for the image, isn't it?
Well, it probably is, but it really speaks more to the fact that she is playing a game of hot potato. They all know what needs to be done to stem the tide at the border, but politically, none of them have the courage to do it and face their own base. That is the problem right now, and that's why you're seeing her AWOL, and the president gets to assign the vice president jobs, but it seems like he's going to have to be a little more forceful if he's going to get her to do this one, because there's no evidence she has done anything yet.
Yeah, she hasn't done anything, but I get what you're saying about the base, and I'm sure that is a political concern, but when you've got numbers like 24% think this is okay, and it's a huge topic in this country, and they put her in charge and she does nothing except go have, you know, a donut with Kim Fox. I mean, that's just bad optics.
It's very bad optics, and people need to understand, yes, March was bad, 171,000. Yeah. You know what I think is the key number you put up there is that 40% of the Border Patrol agents are taken off the line. That is a loss to American security right there. They've eliminated 40% of the law enforcement capacity on the border because of this, and this is only really the second month of this escalation. Right. Imagine what this will be like if we have 3 months like this or 6. And so far, they're not doing anything in April to end up with lower numbers than March.
No, they're not. Do you think, and by the way, just my favorite story of the week, I laughed so hard when I read this. Are they going to resume wall construction? Would they actually do this after they went so nuts for 5 years on that wall?
So let's take it from their perspective. They hate the wall politically, even though it makes sense, and many of the Democrats voted for this in the past. But at the same time, there are gaps in the wall that essentially become funnel points for illegal aliens, and those are miserable on this side of the border. I mean, if you live in a 3/4 mile gap of the wall because it didn't get finished because Joe Biden pulled the plug, that is a very, very bad place to be. And I think they're at least going to try to fix some of those holes. And I will say this, you don't get me saying much positive, and this is pretty meager, but at least it puts them in the direction of trying to stem the tide somewhere. It's the first action we've seen that could stem the tide anywhere.
It's just a hysterical thought that they would be doing that after all that they've said. Multiple reports tonight, Ken, that HHS is actually asking members of NASA to volunteer to help staff facilities for unaccompanied migrant children. So this is what we're at. I mean, they're opening up all these military bases. Now we've got NASA. We need them to help out with this. It's so ridiculous that it's gotten to this point.
Houston, we have a problem.
There you go.
And it's a crisis. And if you have to bring in astronauts to help with security at the border, you've passed the point of calling it a crisis. Again, to my earlier point, you know, you've already reported on facilities that are opening to deal with being swamped like this, but those facilities are going to fill up like that. And then what? Where are the next set of facilities coming from? Are they going to use NASA facilities? Are we going to bed kids down at Cape Canaveral? This is really getting beyond ridiculous as they stick their heads in the sand and let this problem get worse and worse and worse. The most amazing number there on the approval was how low Democrat approval rating was.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, the whole thing to me is just, and it's so funny to watch an administration. They came in and they had the world by the behind, right? I mean, they had everything. They had the media on their side. I mean, you thought they couldn't miss, and then they go and just make this huge unforced error and just look like fools. It's something else. Ken Cuccinelli, sir, good to have you on.
Good to be with you. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.